Now there's a minor moral panic taking off at the news of official advice that teenagers in England and Wales, including those under the age of consent, should be able to get hold of the morning after pill. The National Institute for Health and Care Excellence is recommending they be able to keep emergency contraception at home just in case they need it. The justification is an attempt to shed this country's reputation for having the highest rates of teenage pregnancy and abortion in Europe. But won't the possession of morning after pills just encourage promiscuity and the spread of sexually transmitted diseases? The video blogger Lex Croucher and the student Chantal Norbi-Scott are both here. Now, is this a good thing, do you think?
I think it can be a good thing, definitely. I mean, I just don't think that it's going to change people's minds that much, in terms of people aren't thinking if something's down the road instead of in their house, it's going to make them more or less likely to actually have sex.
What do you think?
I don't think that they're emotionally mature enough to handle the after effects of having sex. I think that having the morning after pill so readily available will actually not actually make a difference to pregnancy rates and things like that, teenage pregnancy rates.
Why not?
I would say this because they're not mature enough. They don't know the after effects. The pill actually doesn't stop you from getting sexually transmitted diseases and things like that. So
that's another argument. We'll come to that in a moment or two if we may, but on the pregnancy question, you really don't think it'll make much difference?
No, I don't feel it will make any difference at all. I think it's going to be an excuse for young people to have sex and then think that, okay, tomorrow I will have the morning after pill.
What's wrong with that?
I don't think that we should be encouraging that. The government should not be encouraging young people to be having sex.
It's not encouraging young people to have sex, it's encouraging them not to get pregnant, isn't it?
Well, I wouldn't say so. We already have things like free condoms in schools and universities and things like that being given out to. So if they didn't want to fall pregnant, there are loads of means available of different types of contraception to help them.
OK, specifically the thing that's given concern is the question of the morning after pill, which is supposedly emergency contraception after the event, although if you have a stockpile of them, it rather implies it's a rather predictable emergency, perhaps. What do you think will be the effect of that?
I mean, you said it's a predictable emergency. Most forms of contraception aren't 100%. I don't think any form of contraception is 100%. So the whole point of this is that when that fails, because you have to already be taking some form of contraception to have access to this anyway. So it's for people who are already taking contraception but need something to fall back on sometimes, because obviously nothing is ever 100%.
But it's the difference between a morning after pill and a condom or something is that it doesn't protect you from sexually transmitted infections, which are on the rise slightly anyway. Don't you worry about that?
I mean, people, when they go to get this stockpile, are going to have to be educated about all types of all types of contraception anyway. So I don't think people are going to become less aware of condoms or use condoms less, because that's the thing they're going to still have access to and still be taught about.
What is your anxiety about a rise, you mentioned it a moment ago, a rise in sexually transmitted infections?
Yeah, I think that actually having this so readily available will actually increase STDs, because I think that although people are not educated enough about sexually transmitted diseases and things like that, so having this available is just going to be adding to the fuel. It's okay for me to have sex. Society says it's acceptable. We're able now to get these things for free, and it's going to be fueling it.
So you think there will be a rise in these infections?
Yeah, absolutely.
As a direct consequence of this policy?
Absolutely. I think people are going to be turning to condoms less and be using the morning after pill a lot more.
Do you worry about girls, particularly young girls, this is going to apply to girls under the age of consent, being more vulnerable to pressure to have early sex? Now the young man says, well, yeah, I haven't got a condom, but you know, you can get those morning after pills with no trouble.
I think that generally people need to be educated more about relationships and consent, because I think that's part of a wider issue and it's all about education. I mean, obviously peer pressure has always existed and probably will always exist, unfortunately, but the more we educate people about this stuff, then the more likely it is that that won't happen, hopefully, in the future.
Thank you both very much. Thank you.